Thank you for joining us on this Thursday morning. A lot to get to, and as we are a week away from opening day, there's a topic within the Phillies to tackle, and I'm very curious where everyone stands on it, and it relates to that big old thing called the World Series, which the Phillies as a franchise have won 2 times, which they've had a legitimate chance to win probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 times in their history, and they've claimed it twice. This is obviously yet another year. And then, hey, Seltzer, way more years through the years where they really didn't have a chance, right?
Yeah, way more years. Yes. What was it, like a 35-year period? They were under 500 every year but once.
Correct. But it's fun when you have a really good team or a great team. And I believe the Phillies have not only a really good team, I think the Phillies have a great team. And so it's exciting when you have these sort of expectations and opportunity to literally go win the championship of the sport, which they did in 80 and they did in 08. And otherwise have not done. And we'll ask you this question today as you sort of put your mindset together for where you are right now with our Fightin' Phils entering 2024. And it's a very simple question. Is it World Series or bust for you as it relates to the Phillies this year? Is it World Series or bust for the Phils? I mean, this is one of those things where sometimes when you're good, and John experienced this as a member of the Eagles. He was part of the 03 and 04 Eagles. And that was maybe more than any team in the history of Philadelphia sports that had the weight of expectations on their shoulders. Obviously, after getting good in 2000, then 01, then 02, then 03, then 04, and eventually there was an 08 NFC Championship game as well. Look, the Lindros Flyers dealt with this. Couple eras of Philadelphia sports Doc's Sixers dealt with it. That's for damn sure. Schmitty's Phillies dealt with it. Schmitty's team and Doc's team obviously broke through with championships in 80 and 83. This team's got that kind of thing going here where it's not like they've come out like the old Sixers did and said, we owe you one, but they got really close and haven't done it yet. I will say this. For me, I don't view it as World Series or bust. Now, I know a lot of people might say, well, what the heck, Joe? What's the point? And yes, part of the point is to go try to win a championship. But for me, part of the whole thing also is to try to enjoy the journey. And I know this from the outset. It is much more likely than not that the Phillies will not win the championship this year. Not because they can't, just because there's like 12 teams that make the playoffs, and then it becomes a crapshoot. We saw that last year with Arizona.
Yeah, there's lots of people who are trying to win. It is hard to do. So what are you saying? That you want them to win less because it's harder to win?
No.
Because there are all these other teams out there who can win and have a great chance to win just like we do.
Look, maybe
you don't want to win is bad?
No, I do want to win is bad.
What are you saying, man?
I'm saying it's hard to do. I will candidly admit maybe I'm soft in this, but I will still say,
Candidly? No, come on.
I will say this. I will say this again, and I said it a lot in the last 4 or 5 months since the season ended. I was frustrated by the reaction when the Phillies lost the playoffs last year. I really was. I was frustrated by people's reaction because there was anger directed at them, and I thought it was, for lack of a better way to put it, I thought it was unfair. I thought there were a lot of people being unfair to a group of guys that had laid it on the line, gave us tremendous thrills. Like, I'm not giving back like Stott's Grand Slam and the great pitching by Wheeler and Nolan, Ranger. Like, I will cherish that. But, man, when that season ended, and for weeks and to a certain extent months thereafter, a lot of people were really angry. So I ask you today at 215-592-9494. It's a couple different things. When you think back to the end of last October, how it ended, and the reaction, are you still angry the way you were, if you were? And I think it's fair to say most people were angry. So do you still hold that anger? That's the look back. The look ahead is the standard now championship or bust? John Rich, and again, everyone at 215-592-9494. John, where do you stand on this stuff?
Yes, it is championship or bust. In this team's mind, it is. We just felt it while we were down there in Clearwater. And why the hell not? We were in the 2022 World Series. We were in the lead in the 2022 World Series. Yeah. We all felt Game 3, 7-0.
That's right. You're right, John. That's right.
I mean, it was 2-1
Yeah,
in the World Series here after Game 3, and we're walking out of that stadium. That is as close as you can get to feeling like, wow, man, this is in the bag. Things fell back a little bit last year. This team, though, has been right on the brink. This team believes. We just felt it, that confidence. Those of us who went to the game while we were down there in Clearwater, Jimmy and I, we felt it. We could see it. I believe they've got the talent. Oh my gosh, to do it with the faster start. Give me a faster start, and this team has the talent to do it. This team absolutely believes they've got the confidence. There was that extra edge that you could see in Kyle Schwarber's eyes when he gets a little tick.
He wants
to be asked the same question, like about leading off or about his batting average. He can't even hide it as he tries to sort of chuckle and feign affability. He's got edge. They try to be nice, but this team is not affable. Kyle Schwarber, not the affable, friendly, giant Kyle Schwarber. They got a ton of work to do, and they've fallen short the last couple years, and you can feel that attitude coming across, even though they're not openly stating it. The owner says he wants more than one.
Yeah, I did.
Bryce Harper, I guarantee, will never stop pushing his teammates or this front office, even after they get more than one. The guy is a maniac, and they love it. We should love it. He is such a baseball head, and he's down there asking Dave Dombrowski, hey, just let me know, please, if I overstep in any way. Like, I think about baseball all the time. I love talking baseball. And Dave Dombrowski's like, man, we're good. This works. Let's just, keep doing what we're doing. Man, and they are working, and we are so lucky, and I am so thrilled having seen this. MLB.com just asked its writers to poll the MLB Clubhouses on the World Series.
Yep.
And John Coachman wrote about it a day ago. According to MLB.com, Philadelphia had the fourth most answers for the 2024 World Series winner, in this poll.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. Look, I love that. I love the fact that they've
got league-wide respect.
Well, there's no doubt they do.
League-wide respect that sometimes I feel like we as fans don't give them enough of.
Well,
They get it more from MLB.com. Look,
I think we give them a lot of respect.
They're
and
in
a lot
great
of love.
shape.
Yeah, they're a great team.
They're in great shape. I feel
so are the
awesome
Braves.
about the talent.
So are the Dodgers.
I know, and they've got targets on them, even though we're not saying it.
Yeah.
We're waiting in the wings, and we're going to pounce. And even though I know Taiwan did not look. Boy, that's a little worrisome.
Well, that is an issue.
But they take action.
All right, here's the
wrong.
deal. We ask you 215-592-9494. On the look back, are you still angry about how they lost last October? On the look ahead, is it for you, in your opinion, World Series or bust for this team? James, let's start with you on the look back. You were very angry when the season ended.
Yes.
And I was much less so. Where do you? It's been about 4.5 months. Where do you stand now on that one?
On that one, I am much less angry than I was then. And I thought that I was going to get to this season and kind of just feel like, all right, get me to the playoffs,
Yep.
Yeah, we know what this is. Just figure it out and get there. And I'm not that at all. Like, I am ready for the season. I'm ready for the journey.
You want to enjoy it.
I'm ready to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for baseball to be back. And I think maybe the way the Eagles season ended, kind of softened how the Phillies season ended. Because to your point that you made in the time, they gave it a run, and they really did come close. And I'm not angry at them. I was just disappointed in how it ended, and that made me angry. And I was angry because I do think they choked.
You were angry.
I do think they choked still. Like, I think they choked, but I'm more disappointed than angry as it goes on, and that's allowed me to get excited. Now, to the second question you asked.
Yep.
Despite my softening on how last season ended, my excitement for this season, it's absolutely World Series or bust for this team. Like, that is what they're built for. That is the whole purpose of this thing. Like, I'm not going to be okay if they lose in the NLCS again. Like, they have to win the World Series this year to make this season full. They have to.
Well, look, we'll see where everyone stands. Look, does it make it the most full? Sure. Again, guys, maybe I am soft on this. I know how angry I was when the Eagles lost in 02, 03, and 04. I get it. I do. I'm not trying to wag my finger. I'm just telling you there's something about this Phillies team. I view it a little different than some of the past eras in sports and the way I know I reacted at that time. Maybe I'm more mature. Maybe I'm less mature. I don't know. You tell us where you stand today, both on last year and the reaction you had then. It's been now 4.5 months. The reaction, or maybe 5.5 months, whatever the heck it's been, since they lost. And then also in the look ahead, is it as simple as it's World Series or bust? Yes? No? Or are you trying to figure that out as the Phillies are about to embark on a new campaign? 215-592-9494. These phone calls, a pair of Phillies tickets, by the way, to an early season game. We'll get to that up ahead. We'll rock all your calls on everything. Joe DeCamera and John Ritchie. It's 94 WIP.